We are here with Weekend Series Preview with Chad Smith. And before we get started, I do want to tell you about the Vault Society. The Vault Society is the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation big push. It's a 5-year commitment of support at $5,000 minimum per year, and there's a benefiter chart on the site. We're going to get to that in just a second. But I do want to tell you that all gifts to Ole Miss between now and June 30th will receive triple points. Red points are non-deductible and go towards priority seating. Blue points are 90% tax deductible and go towards parking and non-home ticketed games. That'll be like the game coming up in Labor Day against Louisville that handles postseason, bowl game, and neutral site. If you have any questions, hit up give2athletics.com. That is give2athletics.com. Also, I want to tell you about the rebelwalk.com. They have a major eclectic group of experts to come in and talk about all kinds of sports. They provide a unique experience, and I like to tell people all the time, you get a subscription level experience with no money put out. All that it's going to cost you is your time. So go over to the rebelwalk.com to find out more. That is the rebelwalk.com. They're also on Facebook and Twitter, and they're pretty good follows there. I'm here with Chad Smith to talk all about the Texas A&M series, the Fighting Texas Aggies. How you doing, Chad?
Doing well. Yourself, Stephen?
I'm doing quite well. I'm kind of looking forward to this weekend.
Absolutely. It's going to be another big weekend coming up, and the Rebels get to go back to Texas.
Okay. Before we break down and get into the position, what's the main overarching concern for this weekend that we need to be looking for?
Well, two things that really pop out to me on this A&M team. Their offense. It's a balanced attack. Sure, they've got some power in their lineup, and they're able to deliver the home run, the homers, but they're also able to run the base paths and steal bases. So it's going to be quite a difficult challenge, especially on the road, the way it usually is down in College Station at Bluebell Park. And the other part of the Aggies, quite honestly, is their starting pitching. They have two very, very strong starters on Friday and Saturday. So, it's definitely going to be a challenge for us, but I believe we're up to it.
Okay. Let's get straight into it in the pitching staff. Who do we have going on for Friday?
Absolutely. We've got Gunnar Hoagland. Of course, he's coming off the SEC Player of the Week, Pitcher of the Week, this past week, and had a heck of a performance against South Carolina, where he put in 6 innings of work and really held the Gamecocks scoreless. And also, he only allowed 1 hit and added 9 strikeouts to his tally. So for this season, he's just doing really well. He'll look to do the same. And the Aggie ace, this is going to be Dustin Sands. He is 5-5, 4.04 ERA, and he's a left-handed pitcher that can really use his pitches and his location to his benefit. So we're going to have to be on our game. It's going to be most likely a low-scoring affair, and we need to take to him. We need to get after him and get after him early.
Yeah, and you would think with you want to get through Gunner and then that little stretch, that little inning or two to get to Taylor Broadway, that is like the golden hour for this team at this moment. But with Jack Doherty, there's hope that it's kind of the bullpen is improving.
Definitely, I agree, and I think Diamond has added another dimension to that middle relief spot. He's been up to 96 miles an hour with his fastball this year, and to come in for 1-2 innings of work and hold the Aggies or the opponent in this case, to a low-scoring affair, keep the walks down, keep the hits down. That's not only going to benefit the Rebels, that's going to benefit Diamond, over the course of his career as well.
All right, let's move to Saturday. What can we expect Saturday?
Well, on Saturday, it's of course we've got our lefty Doug Nikhazy, and he's been really on the past two games, really the past three weekends, but coming off of arguably his best start against South Carolina, where he earned a 7-3 decision. He's going to go up against senior Bryce Miller, and Bryce Miller is a flamethrower. He has a fastball that goes between 92 to 96 miles an hour on the radar gun, but he has the gas to push it up to 98. So this is going to be coming fast. It's going to be coming fast. It's going to be coming often. And he's also got his other two pitches in the mix as well. He's got a mid-80 slider, three pitches with both life and depth. And he also has a curveball and a changeup that are quality in the mid to upper 70s. So this guy's going to be a challenge, and he's a top draft pick this year, very similar to our starters. Gunner and Nikhazy will both be in the draft as well. So it's going to be a challenge for sure the first two games.
Okay, that should be an interesting matchup. And on Sunday, what do we have?
Well, Sunday is an interesting matchup. Of course, we've got our sophomore Drew McDaniel, and he's looking to go after his fifth win for the season. It's been elusive to him, if you will. It's kind of dodged in the past couple of weeks, but McDaniel had a decent showing against the Gamecocks last week. The Gamecocks came out really blowing and going, and basically had 4 earned runs on 6 hits and only 1 walk in 4.1 innings of work. So he will go up against most likely Nathan Detmer, and I say that because this is going to be a kind of a two-headed dragon on Sunday. And Nathan Detmer is a righty out of San Antonio, and his fastball isn't overwhelming. It's in the 88 to 90 range, but his delivery is kind of tilted, and it helps to mask, if you will, his pitch as well. So he's able to go deeper in games because of that. He's also got a slider in the upper 70s and an off-speed changeup that's deceptive as well. But Detmer is definitely capable of working deep into the games. If he doesn't, though, look for the left-hander, Jonathan Childress. He's 3-4. He's gotten touched up in a couple of games this year. But he can come in and flip the script from a righty to a lefty, and that can be a difficult process to an offense and the Rebels offense this weekend.
Okay, so it sounds like they've traditionally, Texas A&M been a pretty good pitching club. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Up until about 2019, they always had a very good pitching staff, very strong club. Lately, they've been retooling over the past couple of years, really in 2020 and 2021. So they're bringing in a lot of new talent, of course, with the fertile recruiting ground that is Texas. You've got prospects left and right. So these guys are going to be tough to beat, and especially on their home turf.
Okay, let's move to the Texas A&M batting order and everything. What should we be concerned about from these guys?
Yes, sir. So the first one that really jumps off the page is Will Frizzell. He's the cleanup. He's batting right at a 333. He's got 13 homers to his credit. So on the season, he's got a good total, good numbers. And he's also got 30. What was that? He's got 36 ribbies to him, to his credit, and that can be the difference in a slugging match, especially with the way that the Aggies run. The Aggies will utilize Ray Alejo and Logan Britt. They have a combined stolen base total of 22 on the season. So this team can put pressure on you on the base paths and at the plate and hit for power as well. Don't let this. The Rebs are not going to do this, but the Rebs cannot afford to take this Texas Aggie team for its record at face value. They've got to go deeper into the games. They've got to be able to get to these pitchers, hit the fastball, and get these starters out so that they can move forward with their offense.
Well, it sounds to me like one thing that Ole Miss desperately needs to do this series will be keyed off of pitchers hitting the strike zone. Don't
Absolutely.
don't give any free passes if you can.
That's right. Location, location, location. That's what's preached. That's what's taught. And they lose that command if they get off balance by the offense that's put up. And the Rebels have really done well, especially over the past 8-game homestand. Kevin Graham has been a standout as always, and we expect him to. But so is Justin Bench, and Hayden Dunhurst. They've really picked up the speed since Elko has, been out of the lineup. And we've got some excellent freshmen, as you know, along with Chardonnay that can, he can do it all. He can do a little bit of everything, hit for some power, and hit the gaps. So I'm looking for this to be a good scoring affair for the Rebels, as long as we can get to them early and get to them often.
Okay, what kind of approach at the plate should Ole Miss take in this game?
It's gonna it's gonna have to be one of patience. The first part of the series on a Friday, because you're gonna have the lower scores, I believe. And then once it goes into Saturday, they're going to have to be aggressive and go after that fastball. If he's able to locate that fastball on up to 80, or excuse me, up to 98 miles an hour, that's gonna sting. So we've got to be able to attack it and then come back on Sunday and take care of business. Just get out there and have that approach, for the two candidates that could go the longest in Sunday's game.
Okay, and is anybody on Ole Miss's roster that we should be paying extra attention to for this weekend?
Really, the top of the lineup has come through over the past 5 games. That's probably where we've seen the most improvement since the LSU series. Since the LSU first 2 games of the LSU series at home, we've really gotten on top of the ball. I look for Kevin Graham to increase his stats and get back in the swing of things. He's been hitting for extra base hits, but not so much the home run this time. I think JB and Kevin Graham are probably the best candidates when it comes down to what we're going to see positive out of this weekend.
Yeah, and to mention Peyton Chatagnier is going home to play this
Absolutely.
series, so it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on that.
Definitely, he's from that South Texas in the Houston area, in Cypress, Little Cypress, I believe, is the high school that he went to. But that's a fertile ground once again in a state that we'd love to get future recruits out of as well. So we've had a lot of them from Texas. So not only are we going down there for a strong baseball series against a quality opponent, historically very good opponent, but we're going down there to try to gain some recruits for the program as well.
Yes. And it's imperative for Ole Miss to get the series if they can. If they get 2 out of 3, they're looking at 15-9. If they can get a sweep, they're at 16-8. Can you imagine a situation after 4-loss series where they could be looking at 15-9, 16-8?
I can. I can. It's the season is with the SEC. It's so difficult to go through this, especially with it being front end loaded for us. A&M has had a very similar schedule to us, though. They've been front end loaded as well. Just here recently, they've gone through Mississippi State and Arkansas and had to play both at Starkville and Fayetteville, and they've lost those series. Got swept by Mississippi State last week in Starkville. So, the margin for error is so little in the SEC, and especially the SEC West. If you make it could come down to 1 to 2 pitches if you think about it, and that can make or break the game, make or break the series.
Yeah. As the LSU series should tell us, if you don't play your best, anybody can come in and beat you.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
So we got Vandy coming next week. I'm looking forward to that preview, by the way. You talking about Jack Leiter and Kumar and the boys.
Absolutely. Those guys, I'm headed over to Oxford to check them out. I want to definitely see Leiter, and it's going to be an excellent atmosphere, packed stadium, of course, and this is going to probably be the largest number of people at a baseball game, or college baseball, maybe baseball game overall so far this year. And it's going to be exciting. I'm ready to go for Vanderbilt, but let's get through Texas A&M one game at a time first.
yeah. I was going to say, if they take care of business this weekend, that becomes a free shot.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, and you sharpen your skills. You want to be able to improve each and every game and not look too far ahead. Yeah. You also want to have a selective memory, if you will.
Exactly. And we're coming up. Let's see. When is the SEC tournament? Is that the week of the 29th of May?
Yes, that is when it will be ending. The 29th, the 30th will be the championship game on Sunday.
Okay.
And then they'll have NCAA regionals, or regional selections that day. The final 16 seeds and the national seeds that day. But Hoover is going to be that week, and that's always a fun challenge, a fun atmosphere. Even though it's going to be restricted this year in attendance, it's still going to be a great experience, and hopefully we'll be able to pick up some quality wins.
Yes, exactly. And this week or next week is when the regional hosts get announced.
Yes, on May 10th, you'll have 20 sites that will be announced. Those 20 regional sites will not be in any seating order, if you will, but it will be based on the current records. Of course, strength of schedule, RPI, so on and so forth. But on the 30th is when they come back and they seed and announce the national seeds. They'll also whittle it down to 16 sites. And of course, Oxford, Swayze Field, we want the national seed. I think we still have a good chance for it. We're going to have Texas A&M taken care of first, to make sure we take care of it. If we win this series, it really plays in our favor. We have a good chance against Vanderbilt, and of course in Athens to close out the season, to have series wins. So, like I said, let's take one game at a time, though.
Yeah, yeah. I just while I had you, I wanted to talk to you real quick about what was coming up, stuff like that. Just to make sure I had it in the right place. But anyway, we're gonna close it right there. This has been the weekend series preview with Chad Smith right here on Positively Ole Miss, the Rebel Walk, and tune in next week when we're gonna go over the Vandy series. I'm sure it's gonna be a heavily watched video. And this weekend, hopefully, they will take care of business and do what they need to do. But for Chad, I'm Steve, and hotty toddy.